Welcome back here, everybody, to the final game of this Super Regional at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg. We had a little technical difficulty getting on here, but we're into the game already, and we've had a couple of batters. And Clark batting in the top of the first inning against Jordan Leonardson. Leonardson facing the number 3 hitter in the lineup. Andrew Israel struck out to start it, and then Trevin Long, a base hit into left center, and now Coben Mullins has a 1-0 count on him. Welcome back here, and this game decides which team's going on to the championship tournament next week in Longview. The pitch comes inside for ball 2 to Mullins, and with 1 out and a runner at first base, the Penguins trying to get started off on the right foot here. And the pitch on the outside corner for a strike call. That'll run the count to 2-1. Jordan Leonardson, 2-3 for the year, 2.59 earned run average from Scottsdale, Arizona. Big right-hander, ready to throw. Squares the bunt, bunts it back toward the mound. He'll pick it up and throw to first base for the out there. And there are 2 away with a runner at second base. So Long goes down to second. And Mullins is out on a sacrifice, 1-3 for the putout.
Next batter, number 7.
2 gone in the first, and Caden Hernandez will be the batter. Hernandez, a right-handed hitter, playing at first base in this second game of the day and third of the best-of-3 series. And the pitch to him from the big right-hander is a hard breaking pitch on the outside corner for a strike call. Boy, he's an imposing figure out there. Looks like he's about 6'6" or so. 1 strike pitch. Another breaking pitch right over the middle. A hard slider, and it's 1-2 to Mullins. Umpqua winning the first game this afternoon 3-0 to force the third and deciding game of this best-of-3. There's a breaking pitch just a little outside. And that'll put the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Mullins went 0 for 2 in the first game today. He walked no, that's not the first game today. There's a called strike 3. That's over. And Caden Hernandez called out on strikes, and that'll retire the side. So in the first inning for Clark, we get started with you a little bit late, but the first half inning is in the books, and Clark in the first with no runs on 1 hit, no Umpqua errors, and 1 runner left on. And we'll go to the bottom of the first inning with the score 0-0. Clark and Umpqua in the deciding game of the best-of-3 series, and we'll be back in just a minute. We come back to Champion Car Wash Field at Roseburg, bottom of the first inning, and the Umpqua Riverhawks coming to the plate for their first time in this game against Luke Wolcott, a left-hander for the Clark Penguins, and the first pitch misses for a ball to Tristan Schaefer, who leads off for the Riverhawks. And the count to him now even at a ball and a strike. 1-1 to Tristan, who had 1 hit in 3 official at-bats and a walk in the first game today. Right-handed hitter against left-handed pitcher, and the curveball stays way upstairs for a ball, and that'll run the count even to 2-2. Clark not getting anything in the top of the inning, a base hit, but couldn't move him around. There's a swing and a foul over the right side bleachers and out into the parking lot. Count stays at 2-2. Tristan Schaefer, the batter for Umpqua. And he takes one low for a ball, trying to get something started here in the bottom of the first inning. They got off to a good start in that first game. Scored a couple of runs in the first and went on to win it 3-0. There's a ground ball to short, and Long throws it over to first base for the out. So Schaefer grounds out to short, 6-3 for the first out of the inning, and Carson Dunn, the right fielder, will be the batter.
Number 2, Carson.
Dunn had a double and a single in his first two at-bats in the first game, and then a sacrifice and a fielder's choice, so he went 2 for 3 and scored 2 runs. Takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 1-0 to Carson out of Roseburg High School. Played his high school games here on this field. Takes it down low for a ball. 2-0. Carson playing in right field again. Number 2 hitter in the lineup. Fouls one back to the screen. And off the screen into the Riverhawks dugout. Two and one to Carson, trying to get something on base. Fastball from Wolcott is outside, and it's 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. One away. Fouled over the screen and out of play, and we got a full count, 3-2. So each of the first 2 batters, full count. Left-hander looks in and throws, and it's popped behind the plate again and out of play. Count stays at 3-2. Zane Bidwell on deck, the first baseman, and then Peyton Smith, if we get that far, the shortstop. Wolcott throws, and it's bounced back to the mound. An easy play for him, and he will lob it over to first base. He gets it there. Not much on it. He just kind of goosed it over there and almost threw it away. So Dunn is out 1-3 for out number 2. And 2 up and 2 down. So Wolcott off to a good start. And the first pitch to Zane Bidwell is down low for a ball. 1-0 to Zane. He fouls one back for strike 1. Zane in the first game was hit by a pitch, safe on an error, grounded out to first and fly to right. 0 for 3. Takes it on the inside corner for a strike call. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs and nobody on. And Bidwell batting for the Riverhawks grounds it to third, and a scoop by Pashales. The throw across is a little wide, but a good stretch by Hernandez to take the throw for the out, and the inning is over. So Bidwell out 5-3, so 3 ground outs to start the game for Umpqua against Luke Wolcott, and neither team able to draw any blood in the first inning. 0-0 score after 1, and we'll be back with the second inning in just a minute.
First batter for the Penguins to lead off the top of the second inning. Number 9.
Ready to go in the top of the second inning. And leading off for the Clark Penguins, it'll be Quentin Angwe, the right fielder. Angwe bats from the right side against the right-hander Jordan Leonardson. And a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Outfield around pretty deep for him all the way around. Here's the pitch, and he holds up on one that's way outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Sun went behind clouds again, so it's pleasant out here. Here's a bouncer to shortstop, picked up by Smith. Throw across, pulls the first baseman off the bag, but he makes the tag, and Angway is out 6-3 for out number one. First baseman Zane Bidwell got the ball in plenty of time, a step or so off the bag, and put the tag on, so no problem for him. And Evan McGuire steps in and takes the first pitch on the outside corner at the knees for strike one. It's a good-looking pitch from Leonardson. Leonardson throws, and that one's way outside. Skips it back to the screen for ball two, or ball one. 1-1 now. Jace Pachales, the on-deck hitter. One out and nobody on in the top of the second inning. No score. Umpqua and Clark. Fastball on the corner again at the knees. Strike two. McGuire batting from the right side. Big kid with a lot of power. He holds up, or did he? No, he went around on it. It's strike three. The appeal to first base. The umpire there says he went.
The next batter, number 21, Jace Pachales.
And that's two away, and the second strikeout for Leonardson. Pachales steps in, and Jace takes the first pitch high and tight for a ball, 1-0. Duncan Rauch on deck if Pachales can get on. Leonardson winds and throws. Bouncer to third, big high bounce, and the throw across in time for the out, and the inning is over. So a 1-2-3 inning in the second inning for Jordan Leonardson. And the Penguins go down with no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. And after 1.5, still 0-0. Clark and Umpqua locked up in a scoreless tie. And we'll be back in just a minute.
First batter for the Riverhawks, number 5, Peyton Smith.
Bottom of the second inning, and the shortstop, Peyton Smith, leads it off against the left-hander, Luke Woolcott, and the first pitch to him on the inside corner at the knees for strike one. Right-hander against left-hander. Grounds the ball toward the hole, and it's scooped by the third baseman, Pachales, who throws to first and pulled the first baseman off the bag. He knew he had to hurry and tried to throw on the run. And I think they're going to put up an error on that one. So Peyton Smith on base on an error on the throw by the third baseman. And the Riverhawks have a start here with a runner on and nobody out in the bottom of the second. Brings up Ryan Walani, and Walani hits the ball back to the mound, and he can't field it. And they're both safe. Another error.
Noah Cox.
So 2 errors in the inning, and then the Riverhawks have runners at first and second with nobody out. And here's Noah Cox, and Cox bunts at first base side, and that's going to be a good play. The throw to first base is in time for the out there, but he moves the runners up. The sacrifice works. And the Riverhawks with runners at second and third and 1 out.
You say Rysons was an error? The next batter, number 8, Jeremiah Robbins.
Jeremiah Robbins will try to bring him in. And Luke Wolcott working with second and third occupied. And just 1 away. Or is this... right, this is Noah Cox, right?
Jeremiah Robbins.
Oh, Jeremiah, okay. Noah just hit the sacrifice. There's a ground ball to shortstop, and they get the runner going to third, but the runner at third coming home scores. So the Riverhawks get a run out of it. Peyton Smith scores, but the shortstop, Trevin Long, makes a really good heads-up play and throws the ball to third and throws out Wahalani. It'll be 6-5 for out number 2. And Robbins safe at first base on a fielder's choice. And Jackson Thompson, the second baseman, is the batter. Wolcott looking at first and throws to the plate, and it's low and inside for a ball. Jackson Thompson batting with 2 away and the runner at first. The pitch to him, fouls it over the right side and out of play. Evens the count at 1-1. From the stretch, Wolcott looks at first base to the plate on the inside corner for a strike. 1-2. Aiden O'Malley waiting on deck. Riverhawks batting in the bottom of the second. Leading it now 1-0. There goes the runner for second. The throw down won't be in time. And I assume that'll be a stolen base. The ball kind of popped out of the glove of the catcher, Roush, but right in front of him, and I don't think it really delayed him much. But Jeremiah Robbins in at second base now. Ground ball to the right, and it is taken behind the bag in fair territory, I think. No, they do not. It's a fair ball, but the first baseman trying to get back to the bag dropped the ball. And Jackson Thompson is safe at first base. And another error on the first baseman. So the bases are loaded. I know, first and third now. First and third with 2 away. And the batter is Aiden O'Malley. O'Malley takes one over at the belt, strike 1. Wolcott, kind of the victim of the defense now, and they've played so well in this. There's a soft line drive to shortstop, and Long's got it for out number 3. So that'll retire the Riverhawks in the bottom of the second inning, but they get a run out of it with no hits, and there were 3 errors in the inning. And they leave 2 runners on base. So after 2 complete, it's the Riverhawks 1 and the Penguins nothing. And we'll be back with the top of the third in just a minute. Back here at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg, we go to the top of the third inning, and the Clark Penguins find themselves down by a run now. The defense kind of betrayed them a little bit there in the bottom of the second with 3 errors and a run coming across. And leading it off is Duncan Roush, the catcher, who takes the first pitch for strike. 0-1. Leonardson throws, and that one is way outside for a ball. That'll even it up at 1-1. Landon Christie on deck, and then Andrew Israel would bat third. Here's the pitch, a swing and a foul tip back to the screen. Count to a ball and 2 strikes. Umpqua getting 1 in the bottom of the second. That's the only one so far. They still don't have a hit, though. The swing and a miss and a pitch down in the turf, and they'll won't have to throw to first base. Roush is out on the strikeout. And there's one away, and that is the 3rd strikeout for Leonardson. And it brings up the center fielder, Landon Christie. Here's a shot down the first baseline, a diving stop by Bidwell there, but it's just foul, and it's strike 1. Christie batting left-handed against the right-hander, Jordan Leonardson. Leonardson slow motion and throws, and the ball is hit into center field, but right at the center fielder, Schaefer, and he's got it for the out. 2 away. And it brings up the top of the batting order, Andrew Israel, the left fielder, who struck out his first time up against Leonardson. Leonardson's given up just the single to Trevin Long, who's the on-deck hitter. A good start for him in this one. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss for a strike. 0-1. Israel 1 for 4 in the first game today. And that breaking pitch goes way outside for a ball. 1-1. Israel had a single and was hit by a pitch in the first one. That breaking pitch way outside, ball 2. Sam Kaufman getting the win in the first game for the Riverhawks. Called strike on the outside corner. 2-2, even up to Israel. And Leonardson trying to get him 1-2-3 for the second inning in a row. 2-2 pitch on the way, and he hit it off the fist towards second. One hopper to Thompson, and he throws him out at first base. Israel out 4-3, and that'll retire the Penguins in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. And we go to the bottom of the third with the score: Umpqua 1, Clark 0, and we'll be back in a minute. Bottom of the third inning, and it's the top of the batting order for Umpqua. Tristan Schaefer will lead it off. Started the first inning with a ground out to shortstop. 0 for 1 in this game. Riverhawks now 25-23 after the win in the first game. And that pitch is down low for a ball and inside. 1-0 to Schaefer. Fastball again down low, just about the same spot, 2-0. The pitch to him, that's down the middle at the knees for strike one. Two one count. And he hits a ball hard toward the middle, and it's knocked down by the second baseman. The throw, he won't make a throw. Couldn't get it off in time. And it'll be an infield single for Schaefer to lead off the third inning. Good play by Mullins at second base just to knock that one down. And he got up and looked, and there was no chance he was going to get the runner, so he just held on to it. Here's a bunt by Carson Dunn, and he fouls it off on the first base side, strike one. So the Riverhawks trying to get that runner in scoring position at second base and try to manufacture a run. Schaefer on at first, the infield single, their first hit of the game. Bunts at that one, kind of a self-defense move as it came in right at his knees, and he fouled it off over to the right side, so it's two strikes on Dunn. Carson with a big double and a big single in that first game. A throw over to first base not in time. Boy, we've had perfect weather for these 2 days of the Super Regional here in Roseburg. A swing and a miss for strike three, and Dunn goes down on three pitches, one away, and Schaefer remaining at first base. Zane Bidwell will be the batter. Bidwell, the first baseman, grounded to third base his first time. Another throw to first, but that was pretty close over there, and I think Schaefer was saying, I think that's a balk. But the left-hander's got a pretty good move over there. He throws to the plate, and it's low and outside for a ball. Bidwell trying to move him around. Runner at first base with one out. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. It's low and inside for a ball, and the catcher comes up with the ball, and it pops out of his hand, so no throw to second. Stolen base for Schaefer. And in scoring position now in a 2-0 count on Bidwell. Wolcott looks down at second base. Pretty good lead there, and the ball's fouled over the right side, out of play. Strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner bouncing off at second, and the pitch, did he go around on it? And the umpire, I think, said he did. And it'll be strike two. That'll even the count at 2-2. Bidwell trying to put it in play somewhere and at least move the runner up. The pitch is way outside and high for a ball. Full count, 3-2. Bidwell waiting as Wolcott looks down at second base. Runner bounces off there. Here's the pitch to the plate. Swings and misses. Strike three. It's in the turf, but they'll throw to first base for the out, and that'll retire the side. So Bidwell is out on the strikeout, and that does not retire the side. That's only the second out. So 2 strikeouts in a row for Wolcott. And Peyton Smith will be the batter. Now Smith with a chance to get another runner on the board. It takes a slow curve, high and outside, ball one. Ryson Wa'alani waiting on deck. Wolcott from the stretch. Looks down at that runner jumping off there. Here's a pop-up towards center field. Should be an easy play for Christie. Waits for it way up there, and he hauls it in for out number 3, and that'll retire the side. So the Riverhawks go down in the third inning with no runs, 1 hit, an infield single by Schaefer, no errors, and 1 left on. So we'll go to the top of the 4th inning in this final game of the Super Regional. And Umpqua leads it 1-0 over Clark, and we'll be back with more in a minute. We go to the top of the fourth inning, and the Clark Penguins not able to get anything going so far against Jordan Leonardson. Leonardson's given up one hit. That was in the first inning. He retired them in order in the second and third. So Coben Mullins, or Trevin Long, and then Coben Mullins to lead off this fourth inning. And the first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Trevin Long, the shortstop, singled. He's got the only hit of the game for the Penguins. Takes another one right down the middle at the knees for strike one. Evens count up at 1-1 to him. Wind in the pitch. Bouncer toward third. Big bounce. A throw to first base in time by Noah Cox. Had to throw on the run, and he got him. A good throw there. And Trevin Long out 5-3 for out number one. Brings up Coben Mullins, the second baseman. Mullins grounded to... Actually, he had to sacrifice his first time up. So he's not officially at bat yet. The first pitch to him, swing and a miss for strike one. One to nothing. Riverhawks lead. Here's the pitch. Fastball is just a bit high. And the count at 1-1. That's a ball. It's ball two. 2-1 now. The wind and the pitch. Fouled off the foot of the batter and out into fair territory, but immediately called foul by the umpire. That'll even the count at 2-2 strikes. Clark Penguins at 21-22 for the year. As pops the ball up in the right side, the second baseman goes out. The right fielder Dunn comes in and makes the catch for the out. So the fly to right field for Mullins, and that brings up Caden Hernandez, the first baseman. 2 out, nobody on. Hernandez called out on strikes in the first inning. Leonardson throws, and the first pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0. Hernandez trying to get a 2-out start for the Penguins. Takes a fastball in for a strike call. .288 batting average coming into the day today. Swings and misses. Strike two. A ball and 2 strikes. Doesn't strike out very much. 8 times in 118 at bats. Takes a fastball outside. Ball 2. Hernandez, the cleanup hitter. But he did strike out his first time up in this game. And the pitch. Hits it off the end of the bat to the first base side. The first baseman Bidwell scoops and steps on the bag for the out. And the inning is over. 3 unassisted for Hernandez. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Leonardson. And in the inning for the Penguins, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. And we go to the bottom of the fourth with the score still Umpqua 1, Clark nothing. We'll be back in a minute.
First batter for the Riverhawks will lead off the bottom of the fourth inning. Number 10, Ryson Alani.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and Ryson Waolani, the designated hitter, to lead it off. Safe on an error in the second inning. And he takes a big cut and fouls it off for strike one. Waolani from Kauai, a Hawaiian island. Grounds the ball hard to shortstop, and Long's got it. And the throw across is in time. Almost pulled the first baseman off the bag, but Hernandez did a good job to keep his foot on it. And Waolani out 6-3 for out number one. Noah Cox is the batter. Noah from Eugene, just up the road from us a little bit. Takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Left-hander Wolcott throws, and he fouls it off over the top and out of play. Strike one. Cox with a sacrifice in the second inning. So no official at bat yet. Here's the pitch, and it's a little bit low for a ball. Pretty close pitch. 2-1 to Noah Cox. Jeremiah Robbins waiting on deck. Grounded to the right side. The second baseman over to make the play in the hole. Mullins will throw to first base for the out. Good play by Coben Mullins, ranging to his left.
Number 8, Jeremiah Robbins.
And made the play look pretty easy the way he did it. He had to go a long ways for it. 4-3 for the out, and it brings up Robbins, the catcher. That looked like that pitch was right down the middle, but, but it's a ball. 1-0 to Robbins. Fastball a little bit low for a ball, 2-0. Jeremiah batting from the right side, takes the fastball high and outside for ball three. Robbins from Medford. Low to him for ball four, and Jeremiah will go to first base on the walk. That is the first walk given up by Luke Wolcott. And with two away, here's Thompson. Thompson takes a strike call, 0-1 to him. Jackson Thompson safe on an error in the second inning. When the Riverhawks scored their only run. 1-0, they lead it. Takes another one inside for a ball. And evens the count up to him at 1-1. Robbins off at first, not a big lead there. The pitch hit hard to second, and that's just kind of automatic for that second baseman. Flips it over to second for the out. Coben Mullins with another good play, and that'll retire the side. So a fielder's choice for Thompson, and Jeremiah Robbins out at second, 4-6 for the third out in the inning. And in the fourth for the Riverhawks, they get no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. And we'll go to the top of the fifth with the score still, the Riverhawks 1 and the Penguins 0. Back in a minute. Back at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Leading off for the Penguins, it is Quentin Angway, and Angway takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. And the pitch, and we got, that's outside for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. And he takes another one. This one's inside and high for ball, 2-1. Leonardson has retired the side in order 3 innings in a row. And he throws a fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. He evens the count at 2-2 to Quentin Angway, the right fielder. Grounded to short his first time up. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0. Umpqua. Ground ball to shortstop. Scooped up by Smith, and the throw across right on the money. Angway out 6-3 for out number 1, and it brings up Evan McGuire, the designated hitter. Or would, but we have a pinch hitter. Number 17, it looks like. And where was that roster? Here we go. Carson Boyko. Boyko bats from the left side of the plate. And the left-handed hitter takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Pitch on the way to him, comes up high for a ball. 1-1, even up to him. Each team with 1 hit. Clark got its hit in the first inning. That's down low for a ball, 2-1. Umpqua got a run in the second inning, but without a hit. Leonardson fires, and it's outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Carson Boyka now in the designated hitter spot in place of Evan McGuire. 3-1, hit to shortstop. Ranging forward is Smith. The throw across. Up, he can't come up with the ball. And that'll be an E6 and the first error of the game on the Riverhawks. Runner on at first with 1 away. Jace Pachales will step in. He grounded at third base his first time up, right-handed hitter. And Boyka off at first. The first pitch to Pachales is inside and high for a ball, 1-0. Duncan Roush, the catcher, on deck. Leonardson out of the stretch. Throws, bounce to third, scooped up by the third baseman, throw to second, 1 back to first. Oh, that was close, but they didn't get him at first. Boy, they made some great throws there just to make that close, but the third baseman, Noah Cox, fields the ball, flips it to second for the force out there on the run for the second out, and then Pachales safe at first base on a fielder's choice. But boy, it was close. Duncan Roush will be the batter, a right-handed hitter. Roush struck out in the third inning, bounds it to shortstop, picked up again by Smith and over to second base for the fourth out, and that'll retire the side. So Pachales is out at second, 6-4 for the third out. And the Penguins go down in the 5th inning with no runs, no hits, 1 Umpqua error, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, halfway through this one. The final game that decides who goes to the 8-team championship next week. And right now, Umpqua leads it 1-0 over Clark. And we'll take a break and back in just a minute. Back here at Roseburg, we'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Riverhawks come up with a number 9 hitter in the batting order, and then back to the top. It's Aiden O'Malley to start, Tristan Schaefer and Carson Dunn. 9, 1, and 2 in the order, and the pitch from Luke Wolcott. It's grounded to short on the first pitch, picked up on the run by Long, and he throws to first, and boy, he made it close there, but he records the out, and O'Malley is out on one pitch. Score at 6-3 on the putout, and brings up the top of the batting order Tristan Schaefer, the center fielder. Schaefer batting .282 coming into the tournament. And the first pitch to him grounds it foul down the third base side. That's strike one. Wind picks up a little bit from left field toward right field, coming out of the northwest. Pitch is a ball. It's 1-1 to Schaefer. Schaefer takes one on the outside corner for strike two. Wolcott working pretty quickly right now. He's got the ball back and he's ready to go. Out of the stretch all the time. And the pitch, high and outside for a ball. 2-1. Schaefer grounded to short and singled. Got the only hit for the Riverhawks. Just missed outside with that one, and it's ball 3-1. Tristan was 1 for 3 in the first game today. The Riverhawks won 3-0, forcing this third game. 3-1 pitch on the way, and he fouls it down the right field line and into the bullpen. Full count to him, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch takes it low, ball 4, and Schaefer will go to first base on the walk. The second walk given up by Wolcott. And that brings up Carson Dunn, and Dunn grounded out back to the mound and struck out 0 for 2 in this game. But he had a big one in the first game, 2 for 3. Grounds one over the mound towards the shortstop. Long picks it up, throws, and overthrows it at first base. They get the out at second, but the throw back sails over the first baseman. And Dunn will be safe at first base on a fielder's choice. Schaefer's out at second. And Zane Bidwell will be the batter. We have a new pitcher out there on the mound too, don't we?
Now batting number 18, Zane Bidwell.
32 for Clark. Nope, that's still Wolcott. A throw over to first base, not in time. Wolcott, the left-hander, looks and throws, and the runner goes and is fouled out of play. Oh and 1 to Bidwell, with Carson Dunn heading back to first base. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Wolcott from the stretch, and he throws in a breaking pitch over at the letters for strike 1, for strike 2. Make that 0-2 count to him. Throw over to first base, not in time. Wolcott ready and throws to first, and the runner goes, and the first baseman dropped the ball, and he'll get second base. And I think that's going to be an E3 to allow the runner to go down there. They had him picked off, but the first baseman, Hernandez, brought the ball out to throw it, and it popped out of his hand. So an error puts a runner in scoring position with an 0-2 count on the batter. And the ball bounced to third, and Pachales has it, throws over to first base for the out. And the inning is over, so no harm on that error. But that retires the side. And in the inning for the Riverhawks, it's no runs, no hits, and 1 error, and 1 left on. And we go to the top of the 6th inning with the score still 1-0 Umpqua, and we'll be back in just a minute. We go to the top of the 6th inning in this 9-inning game to decide who goes to the championship tournament next week. And leading off for the Penguins, let's see, it is Christie, the center fielder, and he fouls one down the first base side just outside the line. That'll even the count up to him at 1-1. Riverhawks with a run in the 2nd inning, and they've made it stand up so far. Each team with 1 hit through 5. It's down low for a ball. 2-1. Landon Christie hit a flight out to center field his first time up. Outfield around to the right for him to pull the ball a little bit, although in left field they're over towards the line and more shallow. Takes a fastball that, boy, looked pretty good, but apparently outside a little bit. Ball 3-1. We do have a different angle here than the umpire does, so that can make a difference. Pops one up in the infield. Who wants it? The first baseman, Bidwell, comes in, and he'll make the catch for the out. 1 away, and it brings up the top of the order with Andrew Israel to step in for the 3rd time in this game. He's struck out and grounded to second base. Looking for something to try to spark his team. Boy, they made a miraculous comeback yesterday down by a run in the bottom of the 9th. Hits a one-hopper to shortstop. Peyton Smith gloves it, throws across for the out, and they're 2 away. Israel picks on the first pitch and hits it right at Peyton Smith. 2 gone in the inning, and Trevin Long, the shortstop, will be the batter. They were down to their last strike in the bottom of the 9th and came back and won that game in the 10th. Foul ball down the third base side, strike 1. That was one of the strangest, maybe most different endings that I've ever seen of a baseball game, I think. A 2-out squeeze bunt with a left-handed hitter up there to make it even stranger. Count 1-1 on the batter, and he takes the pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and it'll be 1-2. Trevin Long with the only hit, infield single in the first. Struck him out. And that'll retire the side. Trevin Long goes down swinging, and it's 1-2-3 inning for Leonardson. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the Riverhawks still leading 1-0. We'll take a break and back in just a minute. back at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg. Moving into the second half of this game, and Peyton Smith will lead it off for the Riverhawks as they lead it 1-0. They have one hit in the game, and that came in the third inning, and it did not figure in the run. An error did. 2 errors, in fact 3 errors in that inning figured in that run. That's the difference right now. First pitch to Smith is a ball. Boy, I couldn't ask for better weather here. It's about 60 degrees and just very little wind most of the day today. That pitch is fouled straight back by Smith, strike one. Smith scored the only run of the game. He was safe on an error on the third baseman in the second inning, and he flied out to center in the third. 0 for 2, but that run's big. Breaking pitch over for a strike. 1-2 to Peyton. The shortstop for the Riverhawks. Here's the pitch to him. That's down low for a ball. Evens it at 2-2. Takes the pitch down low for a ball, and it's 3-2. Peyton doesn't have a high batting average. It was 177 coming into the tournament, but he makes contact most of the time. Has a chance to get on. And he does there. He takes it for ball 4. And the Riverhawks have a runner on at first base with nobody out. And Ryson Waolani, the designated hitter, is the batter. Waolani safe on an error and grounded out to short. Takes it for a ball, 1-0. Peyton Smith at first base. And he'll draw some attention from that left-hander looking right at him. He throws, and the pitch is low and inside. Takes it for ball 2. Waolani squared to bunt, but pitch was out of the strike zone, so he let it go by, 2-0. Wolcott throws, bunts it this time, back down the first base side. They might not get him. The throw there does just get him, and the sacrifice is good. And it'll be catcher to first base for the putout. And one away, but a runner in scoring position at second. So Peyton Smith down there. And here's Noah Cox, the third baseman. Had a sacrifice in the second inning and a ground out in the fourth. There goes the runner for third. Had a big jump, and there won't even be a throw. The left-hander didn't even look back at him. And Peyton Smith easily steals third base. Now at third base with one out, and a fly ball to the outfield might get him across. There's a ground ball to third, picked up by the third baseman, and a throw across, and he got him. So that was not going to get the run across there. A ball hit hard right at the third baseman. And there are 2 away. And that puts Luke Wolcott in a lot better mindset, I'm sure, as he throws the pitch a little bit outside for a ball to Jeremiah Robbins. 2 away. Peyton Smith at third for the Riverhawks. Breaking pitch in the turf. Dug out by the catcher, Roush. Ball 2. And the 2-0 pitch from Wolcott. And that's low, and ball 3. Jackson Thompson, the second baseman, on deck. They're down at the number 7 spot in the batting order right now. Robbins with a chance to drive one in, but he takes the walk instead, and he'll go to first base. That's our take signal. So 2 walks in the inning. And that will bring up Jackson Thompson. Thompson, a freshman, batting .258 for the year coming into the tournament. Runners at first and third. Here's his pitch, and it's low for ball one. Roush came out of the crouch very quickly, kind of expecting the runner at first to be taken off, I think, but he didn't go. Here's the pitch, and it's popped foul over the right side, out of play. Evens it at 1-1. Aiden O'Malley on deck if Thompson can get on. 2 outs, though, first and third for the Riverhawks. Bottom of the 6th inning, they lead 1-0. Fastball is high. Ball 2. Left-hander's given up just 1 hit, but he trails 1-0. Grounded to short again. That's the old, the shortstop dropped the ball and didn't get him, and the run scores. The shortstop, Trevin Long, was just going to flip the easy flip over to second baseman Mullins covering, and he just dropped it. And boy, errors have played a part in both run scoring in this game. That's an E6. Robbins safe at second base, and Peyton Smith scores his 2nd run of the game. Brings up Aiden O'Malley, and O'Malley fouls one straight back. Strike 1. Now the Riverhawks up 2-0, still with just 1 hit on the board. Only 2 hits in this game, and we're almost through 6 innings. 2 outs. And Wolcott looks down at second, throws to the plate, and it's on the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 to O'Malley. O'Malley lined out to short and grounded to short, just 2 times up. 2-strike pitch to him. Swings and misses strike 3. It's in the turf, and they'll have to throw to first base for the out, and it's there.
Well, shocker.
So the Riverhawks get another run, 1 run on no hits. There was an error, and it was a big one. And they leave 2 runners on base. So the score after 6 complete, the Riverhawks 2 and the Penguins nothing. We'll be back in a minute. Top of inning number 7 in this 9-inning game. And leading off for the Penguins, Coben Mullins takes the first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Jordan Leonardson's gone the distance, given up just 1 hit through 6 innings. He throws, and it's fouled off. Strike 2. Tried to check the swing, but it got a piece of the bat. 0-2 count. Mullins had a sacrifice in the first inning and flied to right in the 4th. Leonardson still throwing hard. Here comes a pitch. That's way outside for a ball. The old proverbial waste pitch. Wasted so far out there that it's not going to get hit, that's for sure. 1-2 pitch. Jordan winds and throws, and it's fouled off again. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. No runs on 1 hit and 4 errors for the Penguins. There's a pop on the right side. The first baseman, Bidwell, moves back for it right on the line, and he makes the catch for out number 1. 5 straight batters retired by Leonardson. And it brings up Caden Hernandez. Hernandez has struck out and grounded to first base. Swing and a miss, strike one. Penguins coached by Mark Magdaleno. Been there 10 years at the school, but coached 8 years. Missed a couple of years because of COVID. Fastball over at the belt, strike two. Boy, it looks like Leonardson's throwing harder now. Right-hander winds, here it comes. Whoa, boy, that was close. A little bit high, maybe. Not much. That's a tough one to take if you're Hernandez. Here comes his pitch, and that's way outside for a ball. Evens the count up at 2-2. Caden Hernandez batting with 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 7th inning. 2-0. Umpqua. Here comes the pitch, and it's grounded toward the middle, and it'll be into center field for a base hit. And only the second hit of the game off of Jordan Leonardson. And down to first base, Hernandez.
Now batting number 9.
With 1 out. And Quentin Angway, the right fielder, steps in. He's grounded to short twice. And from Leonardson's point of view, he'd like to see him do it again. Might get a double play out of it. Here's his pitch, way inside. Has to duck out of the way of that one. Ball one. Angway, a right-handed hitter, facing the right-handed pitcher. Here it comes. Foul down the third base side. Be fielded behind the coach's box by Noah Cox. And it's even at 1-1. Angway trying to keep it going for the Penguins. Takes the fastball upstairs, ball two. Well, that had some heat on it. Leonardson put a little extra on that one. 2-1 with the runner off at first base, not very far. And the pitch. Did miss. It caught the outside corner. There was a delayed call, and the umpire said, yes, it is a strike. So it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Way out in front of that one. And Leonardson gets his 4th strikeout of the game and the big second out with the runner at first base. And it brings up Carson Boyko, who came in to hit in the 5th inning for Evan McGuire. And so he stays in that DH spot. The first pitch to him on the outside corner to the left-handed hitter for strike one. So Jordan Leonardson trying to work out of a bit of a jam. He throws high and outside for a ball. The base hit by Caden Hernandez came with 1 out, now with 2 outs, and a chance to get out of it with no damage. That's hit into left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Not hit hard, but hard enough to find a spot. And there'll be runners at first and second with 2 away. So Hernandez down to second base, and Boyko at first base. And Paschal will be the batter. Jace Paschal, a fielder's choice and a ground out to third. 0 for 2. Leonardson looks down at second, delivers to the plate, and it's high for ball one. Haven't seen any activity in the bullpen yet, but I think there's somebody about to head that way for Umpqua. Here's the pitch, grounded back by the mound to second base. They'll step on the bag, easy play in the force, and the inning is over. So for Parchales, a fielder's choice. And Carson Boyka out at second base on 4 unassisted for out number 3. So that'll retire the side in the 7th inning for Clark. It's no runs on 2 base hits, no umpire errors, and 2 runners left on base. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th with a score still Umpqua 2 and the Penguins nothing. We'll be back in a minute.
The new pitcher for the
We get ready to go with the bottom of the 7th inning. And Umpqua will see a new pitcher on the mound. It is Bryce Dodge. And he wasn't listed on my roster, but they tell me that's who it is. Here's a hard hit ball by the shortstop and into left field. Trevin Long couldn't get to it. And the leadoff batter, Tristan Schaefer, bounces it right by the shortstop and into left. And the Riverhawks on the first pitch from Dodge get a base runner. And that brings up Carson Dunn. And the throw will go over to first base. And boy, that was real close to a balk right there by Dodge. So Wolcott is out after 6 innings. And Dodge gives up a base hit on his first try. Here's a ball bunted, first base side. Good bunt, picked up by Dodge. Throw to first and just got him at first base. Schaefer goes on down to second. Dunn with a sacrifice.
The next batter, number 18.
For the first out of the inning, and Zane Bidwell will be the batter. Only the second hit of the game for Umpqua. And neither runs have scored with hits. Breaking pitch high and inside for a ball. Bidwell with a 0 for 3 day going here. Grounded to his third base twice and struck out. Boy, that looks like a balk, but Dodge turns around, steps, looked like towards first base, and then turned and threw to second base. And left-handers always look like they're balking to me, but I don't even know how they call the balk anymore. Here's the pitch. High and away for a ball.
How hard is he throwing?
2-0 the count to Zane Bidwell. Bidwell looking to try to get run number 3 across with a base hit. Takes it high for ball 3. Schaefer at second base. Leading off with a single and then the sacrifice by Dunn. 3-ball count and the pitch on the way, and that is on the inside corner for a strike. Second baseman Mullins over close holding the runner on at second base. And the pitch. And it is outside for a ball, and the runner goes, and he steals third base. So Schaefer takes third on that. Bidwell goes to first base on the walk.
Now batting number 5.
And that brings up Peyton Smith with runners at the corners, first and third, with one out. Smith has scored both runs for the Riverhawks. Safe on an error and scored in the second inning, walked and scored in the sixth. Here's a stretch by Dodge, looks over at first, bunted first base side, good bunt, and they're not going to get anybody. It was bobbled by Dodge, and the run scores, and down to second base safely goes Bidwell, and Peyton Smith at first. So give him a sacrifice and then safe on an E1 and an RBI, because that was going to score the run anyway. Bidwell to second base, and Schaefer scores the third run of the game, and it's now 3-0. The Riverhawks lead it. And here's Wa'alani. And the pitch to him. Bounces in the dirt out in front of the plate. Ball one. Ryson Wa'alani. Safe on an error in the second inning. Grounded to short in the fourth and sacrificed in the sixth. Dodge from the stretch. Runners at first and second. Still just one out. The pitch. Hit into center field, hit hard, but right at the center fielder, and they're going to get an easy double play if they can hang on to it, and they don't. The ball went right, skipped right over the glove of the second baseman, Mullins, on the throwback to second base, and Bidwell is able to get back there safely. So Wa'alani flies out to center field, and it should have been a double play, but
Next batter number 9, Noah Cox.
I thought he was going to get down.
they don't get the double play, and that brings up Noah Cox. So with two outs, Cox hits the ball towards shortstop, and the throw over to second is in time. Riverhawks thought they had him safe at second base, but the force out on Bidwell, or on Smith at second base, so he's out 6-4 for the third out to retire the side, and Noah Cox safe on a fielder's choice at first. So that'll end the seventh inning for Umpqua. They get one more run and now lead it 3-0 on one base hit, one error, and two left on base. So we'll go to the eighth inning with a score: Umpqua 3, Clark 0. Back in a minute. Back here at Roseburg, Champion Car Wash Field, coming down to the end of this third and deciding game in this best-of-3 series between Umpqua and Clark, and Umpqua on top 3-0 as we go to the top of the eighth. And it's the catcher, Duncan Roush, to lead it off. Roush takes the first pitch for ball one. That's popped up over the top and out of play for strike one. Jordan Leonardson still out there doing the job on the mound. Giving up just 3 hits. Here's a deep drive down the left field line, and it will be a fair ball picked up by the left fielder, O'Malley, and he'll throw it back in. and an extra base hit. A double for Duncan Roush. Just inside the line, all the way to the fence in left field. And the first extra base hit for Clark, I think, in the tournament, in all 3 games. But it's a double, and they get a start here in the 8th, and they're not going to die, that's for sure. This team knows how to come back. It's a ground ball to short, and they'll go to third, and they've got the runner there. Boy, that was a bad choice.
Terrible read with that speed, too.
Caden Hernandez took off on the ground ball, and Peyton Smith picked it up, and they got him by a mile at third base. So he's out 6-5 for out number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. 6-5 for out number 1. And Christie is on a fielder's choice. Back to the top of the batting order.
It doesn't work. I've tried it.
Andrew Israel pops up one behind the plate, and the catcher Robbins comes back, and he makes a catch for the out. Way up in the air, and Robbins had to just wait for it to come down a long time, and he finally makes the catch.
Next batter, number 13, Trevin.
And boy, that play between second and third was a rally killer, it looks like. They're not done yet, though. Trevin Long, the shortstop, the batter, with a runner at first base and 2 away. Top of the 8th inning. And the leadoff double by Roush gets wasted on the plate. Here's a ground ball to shortstop, over to second for the force out. Inning over. Boy, just like that, they're out of the inning. Trevin Long hits into a fielder's choice. And Landon Christie out at second base, 6-4 to retire the side. So in the 8th inning for the Penguins, they get the leadoff double, but can't move him around. And it's no runs on 1 hit, no Umpqua errors, and 2 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 8th with the score still Umpqua 3 and Clark nothing. We'll be back in a minute. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Roseburg, Champion Car Wash Field. Leading off for the Umpqua Riverhawks, Jeremiah Robbins. And then Jackson Thompson and Aiden O'Malley. 7, 8, 9 in the batting order against Bryce Dodge, who throws the first pitch inside for ball 1. Robbins with a fielder's choice and 2 walks. He takes a strike there on the outside corner, 1-1 to him. Hit a fielder's choice in the second inning and stole second base. Just inside with a breaking pitch, and it goes to 2-1. Right-hander Bryce Dodge throws. Ground ball to be by the third baseman and into left field for a base hit. And Jeremiah Robbins gets his first hit of the day. The Riverhawks with the leadoff man on again for the 3rd inning in a row. They got a run in the 2nd, a run in the 6th, and a run in the 7th. And now Robbins on at first, and Jackson Thompson the batter. Thompson squares, bunts it back toward the mound. They'll have to go to first base and got the out there, and the sacrifice is good again. So it's 1-3 for the put out, 1 away, and down to second Robbins.
Next batter, number 21, Aiden O'Malley.
Brings up Aiden O'Malley, the second baseman. Lined out to short, grounded to short, and struck out. 0 for 3. Pitch that comes inside to him. Breaking pitch just misses him, and it's ball 1.
Just make him bunt.
1 out in the inning, a runner in scoring position at second base. Bryce Dodge from the stretch. The right-hander looks down at second. And to the plate on the corner for a strike. 1-1. Dodge working out of the stretch. Well, he always does, but has runners there now. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. The runner goes, and the throw over to first base will be in time, so they just take the shear out on that one because Robbins had a pretty good jump there. They might have been able to get him at third, but they decided to get O'Malley, and he's out at first, and that'll be out number 2, and it brings up the top of the batting order with a runner at third base and 2 away. Tristan Schaefer takes the first pitch inside. It hits him, and he'll go to first base. And Dodge now will work with runners at first and third with 2 away.
Next batter, number 2, Carson Dunn.
This either means triple or punchy.
Here's the pitch. The runner goes, and now they get him. Well, they're going to get him in a rundown, but Schaefer decided he'll just trot on into second base and take the stolen base. So second and third with 2 out. Robbins staying at third base, and Dunn at the plate. Hits the ball to right field, hit hard, but right at the right fielder, and he backs up and has to reach for it and pulls it in. So Dunn lines out to right, and that'll retire the side in the eighth inning. And for the Riverhawks, it's no runs, no hits, make it 1 hit, and no errors, and 2 runners left on. So we will go to the top of the 9th, and the Riverhawks have a chance to close it out if they can hold them to less than 3 runs. 3-0, they lead it going into the top of the 9th. So here we go. We'll be back in a minute with the final. Back here at the ballpark, we'll go to the top of the 9th inning, and leading it off is Coben Mullins for the Penguins, and the first pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Mullins with a sacrifice, a fly to right, and a fly out to first base. Takes the fastball over for strike 1. 1-1 to him, top of the 9th. And the Penguins down to their last 3 outs. Here's a high bouncer to third, picked up by Cox. A throw to first, and he got him. 1 away. And I'm just remembering how they were down to their last strike yesterday in the 9th inning with 2 outs and nobody on base, and they came back and tied that game. So it's not over by any stretch. Here's the first pitch to Caden Hernandez, outside for a ball. I think he called it a ball. It hasn't been put up on the board yet. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. And it's should be 1-1. Still says 0-1 on the scoreboard. Ground ball hit foul down the third base side, and that'll be strike 2. There's 1-2. Hernandez, a ball and 2 strikes. They're down to their last 2 outs. And the pitch. Hit to the right side, soft line drive, caught by Bidwell at first base. Down to 1 out. What a job by Jordan Leonardson on the mound today. Boy, he has shut them down. And here's Quentin Angway, the right fielder. First pitch to him, fouls it off for strike 1. Angway grounded to short twice and struck out. 0 for 3, and Jordan Leonardson trying to finish it off. He throws. Popped up on the left side. This should do it. The shortstop Smith is under it, and he's got it. And the Riverhawks are going to Longview. Umpqua wins it 3-0. And the Super Regional champions are the winner, the Riverhawks, after they lost the first game in the best of 3 yesterday, but come back to win 2 in a row today. And they are going to make the trip to the championship. Boy, there's been some good baseball here at this park these last 2 days. There are some outstanding players, and it's so unlike Clark to have 5 errors in a game, but they did, and they were costly ones. And that's why they're not going to the championship right now. But boy, they have played well throughout these 4 games that they've played here. The final score, 3-0. The Riverhawks win it, and the totals in the game for Umpqua: 3 runs on just 3 hits. They had 1 error and left 11 runners on base. Umpqua left 11 on. And for the Clark Penguins, no runs on 4 hits. They had 5 errors, and almost every one of them costly. And they leave 6 runners on base, and a complete game victory for Jordan Leonardson. He goes the distance, 9 innings, gives up 4 hits. No runs, and he struck out 4, and I think he had just 1 walk in that game. But great pitching performance for Jordan Leonardson, and he goes to 3-3 for the year. And the Riverhawks are going to play at least 2 more games. They go up to Longview next Thursday to battle in that 8-team tournament. So congratulations to the Riverhawks. They go to 26-23, and hearty congratulations to the Clark Penguins. They really gave it a run here under Coach Mark Magdalena. They finished the season 21-23, but they went right down to the wire, and some really good games played in this tournament on Champion Car Wash Field at Roseburg. And fans that did come out here were treated to some pretty good baseball. So congrats to the Riverhawks. They'll be heading up the freeway to Longview next week and get in some more action before this season is over. And I think that probably is going to, let me just recap here for a moment. The Riverhawks got a run in the second inning on no hits and 3 errors, and that turned out to be enough in this game. Peyton Smith was safe on an error, and then an error on the pitcher allowed Walani to first base, and another error on the first baseman allowed the run to come in. So errors in that second inning cost them a run. And then the Riverhawks scored again in the 6th inning with no hits and 1 error in that inning. And then in the 7th inning, they scored with the benefit of a base hit. Tristan Schaefer got on base on a single, and he ended up scoring, but there was an error in there that helped get that run across on the error. So errors were really costly for the Penguins in this one. The losing pitcher will be Luke Wolcott, but boy, he pitched well enough to win pretty much every game he would pitch. He pitched 6 innings and gave up no runs on 1 hit. One run on 1 hit, and that was an unearned run. So an excellent performance for him. So that will wrap up the season for the Penguins. They finish with 21-23 on the year, and the Riverhawks go to 26-23 and head up the freeway here pretty soon to play in that championship tournament up in Longview. So that's going to wrap it up for this Umpqua Super Regional playoff here in Roseburg at Champion Car Wash Field and Bill Gray American Legion Stadium, with the Riverhawks earning the berth in the 8-team tournament to decide the Umpqua champion next week in Longview. The first game today, Umpqua won it 3-0. The second game, they won it 3-0. So 2 3-0 wins today. And as I mentioned, we've seen some really good baseball these last 2 days and some really exciting games. I'm glad I could have been a part of it. Thanks to all those that worked with me here from all the schools that are represented, and my technical advisor here that helped get us on, and for everybody for listening out there. Thank you for joining me for Umpqua Super Regional action from Roseburg. I'm Dan Bain. Have a good evening.